see. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Hi, everyone. I'm going to get started in just a moment. So make sure you have something to write with. I'm going to be going over manifestation. I'm going to be going over magnetism. And you're welcome to ask questions all along the way. I did not even mean to share these links. Hi. Hi. I'm waiting for some folks to join. But we're just getting started. I'm not going to be on too long. We're going to do some live Q&A. Hi, Tracy. I'm going to do some live Q&A for the art of manifestation and magnetism. Hi, how are you? I'm giving folks a minute to join. Tracy, how art thou? There's folks over here too. I'm trying to figure out the StreamYard because I am new to using it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in. So my name is Z, and if you see me looking around, it's because I'm streaming on multiple platforms right now. I know it's a little bit later here in the US, but there are folks overseas and whatnot. And a lot of people have been asking about, a lot of people have been asking about me discussing the art of manifestation, answering some questions. And so I put together um, which ones, like which platforms. I put together some quick tips for everybody that I wanted to share since astrologically we are in a very interesting place right now. And with May bringing in a lot of manifestations, it's also bringing in a lot of clarity and insight into who we are as people and illuminating the parts of ourselves that need work. So if anybody is feeling like energy has been intense lately, that is perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. Um, it's what's being called into our energy right now. And so I'm going to talk about magnetism, manifestation to help you all bring to fruition anything that you're wanting to call in, whether it's love, career, health, mental health, since it's Mental Health Awareness Month for May as well, and anything else that you have that you are desiring in your life. Because June is fast manifestation month, meaning all of the work that you do now and have done up until this point is really going to help you manifest the life that you are wanting. So if you haven't gotten clarity, if you feel like you are experiencing a lot of tower moments right now, it is perfectly normal. So just do your best to go with the flow. And by the end of this quick little workshop, mini workshop, you're going to have some clear steps on how to become magnetic to your career desires, to relationships, to your soul tribe, and so on and so on. And, another reason why I really wanted to share this is because as someone who has experienced a lot of hardship, throughout my life, and a lot of illnesses, barely making it out of many, many situations. Hi everyone. I wanted to make sure that nobody else experienced the same thing, because I feel like we have been so removed and detached from our spirituality, from our own gifts, that it's harder for us to remove ourselves, as folks say, from the matrix or from this everyday life. Remember to tap more into our magic, our divinity, our energy. And now is the perfect time to be doing that. So if you've been working on your manifestation, keep going. Keep going. And it wasn't so long ago that I was in a very different situation that I am now. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Chosen Big Dog. Haven't seen you in a minute. Um, and again, I'm looking around because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. So, and also for folks on TikTok, feel free to drop your questions anytime. This is live Q&A, but I am going to be going over three main steps to becoming magnetic, and talking about manifestations. So again, if you're wanting to manifest love, career opportunities, doesn't matter what industry you're in, if you want to manifest health into your life, or having a better, you know, physical body and removing ailments from your life, this is also going to help you with that. So feel free to grab your notebook if you don't have one, and a pen. But I was just sharing about, having a lot of hardship in the past. Thanks for liking. Having a lot of hardships in the past, and being able to come out of that very successfully, and, feeling very whole and at ease in the life that I am living right now, being a published poet and a writer, and being on reality TV, and having a beautiful soul tribe, and manifesting a lot of love and things into my life. Let me do this really quickly so I can actually see. So I'm going to share with you again three main things that help with magnetism. And I would love to know also where all of you are from. Hi, TikTok, you were just popping in there. Where are all of you from? Hi, hi. Is it Dwyanette? Let me know where all of you are tuning in from. How long have I been in poetry? I've been in poetry my entire life. This is the first time that I've actually shifted it as a huge part of my career, and have been very successful at doing it. But I've been doing it since I was very, very, very small. It was a way for me to alchemize and heal a lot of my emotions. Thank you for asking, Charles. So we have someone from Newark, New Jersey. I love it. Hi, Natural de Luna. Where are the rest of you from? And then I'm going to hop into these tips. I'm currently in Northern California. I travel around a lot. I've been a little bit stationary because I've had a lot of work and clearing and things I needed to take care of here in California. So that is what I'm doing. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Boston, Massachusetts. You know what? I've never been to Boston, but I've always wanted to. I don't know why I've never been there. Like, it never crossed my mind, but it's one of those places I'm like, why have I not been there before? I also haven't been to Milwaukee either. I'm gonna add that to my list. So many places I want to go. Louisiana! I love it. We're in Louisiana. This thing cuts off everybody's comments. That's my middle name. Oh, pretty. I love that. Um, a large portion of my dad's family is from Nolens. So I love going to Louisiana. I always get called there. Um, I love seeing where all of you are from. And feel free to let me know like what your manifestations and intentions are. Yeah, beautiful city to visit. Which city are you referring to? Let me make sure. Yeah, which city are you referring? I'm assuming Nolens. Are you talking about someplace else? I don't know. But make sure that all of you have, oh, Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna write it down right now. Let me write this down. If I don't write things down, it disappears immediately. that will encourage me to go. So make sure again that you have your notebook, make sure you have something to write with. This is going to be recorded, so I will pop it up onto my YouTube. So if you don't, like, or if you're not able to stay the whole time, totally fine. Feel free to check it out on my YouTube afterwards so you can watch it, do whatever you need to do. My rings just connected themselves. Uh, is it Kinder or Kinder? Kinder? Louisiana, 30 minutes away from Lake Charles, 3 hours west of NOLA. I love it. I haven't been there yet either. Um, Mostly like New Orleans, Lafayette, like that kind of area. I haven't explored too far out. I don't know where I'm going most of the time when I'm out there. So there's that. Okay, so we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna start with the number one thing that you are really going to need when you are calling in your manifestations, when you are fully embodying the energy of magnetism. First, let me slow down. When I say magnetism, what I mean by that is going out into the world, or starting something new in your life, like a new journey, the fool's journey, right? If you're thinking about tarot, and allowing opportunities to come to you and being fully magnetic. So you'll realize that when you meet certain people, they just have this energy about them that draw you in. Doesn't matter if they're talking, if they're just standing there, if they're smiling at you, or if they glance at you, they just have this energy that pulls you to them for some reason, right? And you might already be magnetic. I feel like most people are. It's just a matter of getting that energy to consistently flow outside of you and then magnifying it to be able to bring in your manifestations, right? So being magnetic, you can also think of someone like Marilyn Monroe, right? Who could turn it on and off and just seem to live a really great life in terms of opportunities. So you'll start to see that in other people's lives. So when I say the art of being magnetic and learning about manifestation, it's really about harnessing that energy within yourself to be able to draw things to you effortlessly. And that doesn't mean, okay, by the end of the week, like I'm going to have one manifestation. It's like, no, magnetism, when you learn to master it and you use it in your everyday life, every day becomes magnetic. It's most of the people you talk to, it's the things that you find in the store, even down to animals, to your email. Like you align with the universe in such a way that everything that you are needing in your life begins to show up on every single level. Not just, oh, I found my soul tribe. It's say like, oh no, I found the perfect clothes for this. So, oh, I met the perfect resource for this project that I'm working on. And they introduced me to somebody else. I just got this amazing opportunity that I didn't see coming. I'm just going to say yes, right? It's just magnetic. Things just plop into your life over and over and over and over again. In the beginning of learning how to be magnetic, that doesn't always happen, right? Because you're learning about your frequency, you're learning about how to flow it outside of you. So, hi, Azure. So, the very first thing that you want to write down on your list. Again, there's three of them, but I also have a bonus number four that I'll share at the end. So number one is clarity. So write that down. And when I say clarity, I mean the clarity on who you are. Who are you? This is the biggest question. You cannot, I'm waving my pen around. You cannot magnetize opportunities if you have no clue who you are and what you want. A lot of people are like, I just really want to bring money into my life. I just really want a partner. It's like, well, what does that mean? Who are you? What do you want? You can't manifest something if you don't know who you are, because it's supposed to match your frequency, right? And your soul is the strongest at like magnetizing things towards themselves because it aligns with the frequency of love. So when you have clarity on who you are, what you want, that's your frequency of love, and that's how you bring it in. Otherwise, when you are not aligned and have clarity on your identity, you will literally manifest distractions into your life. And I see this happen all the time. Manifestation coaches don't talk about this, But whenever you have too much on your plate, whenever you're not sure about what you want to do, when you're unsure about how to move forward, you will literally manifest everything you've been thinking about, good or bad, into your life. And you will become so confused because you do not have the clarity on how to move forward. So it's just a bunch of opportunities that you don't know what to do with, and you're not tapped into the frequency of love, because when it comes, you should have that feeling of, oh, this is curated just for me. Right? You're not going to feel, oh, I shouldn't make that decision. I shouldn't do this, right? No. When you're magnetic and you have the clarity, you're like, ah, this is so easy to choose. You'll also start to bring in, if you don't have clarity, you'll magnetize low frequency people into your life, because your highest timeline and your clarity and living an embodiment of magnetism means that you are at a higher frequency. When you are unsure, when you are fearful, when you are confused, that is a lower frequency. So you immediately start to bring in energy that is not meant for you. But that is also a good way to show that you don't have clarity. So a few things, hi. So a few things that you can really do to help yourself is, number one, you need to clear your energy channels. Clear your energy channels, right? This is a great way to reset your energy. It's a great way to help your manifestations come in more clearly. It's a great way for you to connect with the divine, because we don't want stagnant energy. We don't want old energy. We don't want cords to pass people. We don't want any of it. So the first thing you're going to do to help yourself with that clarity is also going to be to clear your energy channels. The second one is, you're going to need to connect with your soul. So these are points within point number one, okay? Clarity. You want to connect with your soul. You need to know what it is that your soul is desiring in this lifetime that's going to bring them the most amount of joy, the most amount of happiness, because that is you at your essence. You are not just the person behind the desk. You are not just the person who is here to help people. You are not just that. You are so much more than that. And I see so many times that people, especially giving people, like if you consider yourself a healer or 144, like a light worker, whatever it is, you will easily give yourself away, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's aligned with your soul. So if your soul is actually wanting to be in a marriage, or if you want to like start a business that's made for blah blah, because you want to follow your dreams and the impact is going to help more people, right? Like, be really honest about what your soul is wanting in this lifetime. Let me see what someone wrote really quickly. And feel free to drop your questions. I want to manifest my twin flame as my wife. I love that. Yay! We're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. So pay attention to what your soul is wanting. So connect with your soul. Souls even have soul names. My soul has a name, many souls have names. It'll be the name that kind of resonates with them within all of their lifetimes. So the more you work with that energy, the more you're gonna uncover what it is that your soul likes, what it is that they want to manifest, and be happy. The third one within clarity is uncover your purpose. That kind of aligns with your soul, but uncover your purpose, right? Because once you connect with your soul, you're going to also be able to figure out why it is your soul decide to come here to this lifetime, and why it wanted to exist during this moment. So do some work into uncovering those things for yourself, because when you are able to have that massive amount of clarity, you become like irresistible to your soul purpose, to your dream partner, to many, many opportunities. The minute that I cleared all of my energy, I have people that I usually go to, and I'm consistently clearing my energy every single day. The minute I met my soul, talked to my soul, uncovered my own past lives, because I do that. I work with time, and when I uncovered my true purpose, right? Because some people think, oh, I have many talents and I can do all these things. Why, yes, you can do things, but that doesn't mean that that is your purpose. Your purpose is very different than just doing things, right? Your purpose might be to be a guiding light for humanity to be inspired. That might be your purpose. Or you might be a healer on many levels, and that's why you can do many things, because healers need to be able to help a lot of people. So let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Is this resonating? Do you have clarity in your life right now? And what has been the hardest part for you about clarity? It's one thing to be able to take notes and write about clarity. It's another thing to actually achieve it in your day-to-day life. And being magnetic, it really requires you to be crystal clear on who you are, how you want to navigate life, and your transcendent identity, not necessarily your 3D identity, but your transcendent identity, right? That's what I teach my clients all the time. Your identity transcendence, I'm flipping it now, uh, to the point where you are so grounded in who you are that nobody can shake you from that. So you become extremely empowered, right? So I love all the hearts. Thank you. No coincidence. This is the first time I see after the meditation I just had. Hey, you manifested me. Um, so let me know if this is making sense in terms of clarity, and why it's so important to have this in your life in order to be magnetic. I'm telling you, the minute I decided who I was, knew all these things, it was like, boom, I started meeting people day after day after day, and it's still like that. The only time it's not like that is when I have disconnected. I'm glad you love me. I have disconnected from my divinity, from working with spirit, from working with my ancestors, and I've become too involved in distractions that don't matter. I'm like, what did I just do? And then I say, Spirit, rip it away, thanks, so I can see the truth. So understand that it's normal to be distracted within the 3D space as well, because it's meant to be that way. We are not always meant to be in our divinity. That is how oppression and suppression works. So know that it takes time, it takes practice. So someone says, my sole purpose is to be a model for those that you can do things differently and still thrive. Hi, Nassim. This makes a lot of sense. Yes, it's so good to see you. Yes, like once you know that, like keep going after it, in the sense that you are moving forward with ease and you are trusting, right? Have that clarity. What spirit do you work with? I believe in a higher power spirit, but I also am a medium. So when I say spirit, I mean my belief in the spirit as a higher power. I'm a very open teacher, and I teach many modalities. So all versions of spirit, cosmos, universe, God, Jesus, whatever you believe in, Allah, like, are welcome in this space. So I appreciate you asking. I'm still working on clarity, but life is pretty difficult right now. Yeah, it can be right now. If you're just joining the call, I was talking about how May is revealing a lot about who you are. So if it feels a little harder than usual, that's perfectly fine. Um, Try your best to release and get to a space. Thank you for liking the live. Try your best to release and get to a space of gratitude, because everything is happening for you. It's not happening to you. I know sometimes it's hard to be in that energy, but it's absolutely true. And I know many times on on my journey, I've been on my knees, like bawling, crying, yelling, upset, wanting to give up. And that is when the magic starts to happen. Not saying there's not magic in other moments, but those are those moments when you realize that there's healing that really needs to happen, and things need to come out of your body, which is why I teach more indigenous practices as well. I want to just protect you so much. Oh, you're so sweet. I love protection. I need protection all the time. I'm here all night. Thank you, Taurus. Bryant, nice. Have you been in this live before? I appreciate it all. It's nice seeing you on your TikTok. Fellow seer, yes. When I saw your sunflower, I thought of Ocean. I came across YouTube. Oh, amazing, amazing. First timer, cool. Is your name Bryant or Taurus? What is your name? What do you go by? Nice to meet you. Could a tarot reader be wrong about who your twin flame is? Um, Not necessarily. So what I will always say before I go on to point number two, when it comes to interpreting energy, um, readers will read the energy that is right now. So, something we always have to understand whenever we see a reader, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily wrong. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily right. I always, no, I didn't. I lost Nassim in like the last 2 minutes. It was a very intense race. I was in a race to perform with Gwen Stefani and Doja Cat, and I made it to the semifinalists. And then in the last like minute and a half, I lost my lead. That's what they're asking about. But I'm in a new competition with Timbaland. One thing we have to really understand when it comes to energy reading is readers always pick up the energy that they can usually sense the most. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's wrong, doesn't mean that it's right. It's just the energy as it is right now, which is why I always suggest people be really good intuitive readers, even when they go to readers. And understand that also everybody is a human, and so sometimes there's going to be bias that come in, which is why all the YouTube readers will say like take what resonates and leave the rest. And remember, sometimes you're not meant to fully understand who your twin flame is, and if you are questioning who your twin flame is, it probably ain't your twin flame, because spirit and the ancestors make it so unbelievably clear that you will know who your twin flame is. 10,000%. And if also that person is not meant to know, they may not know. So it's kind of like there's an understanding, at least for myself. I tell people if you go to a reader, understand that it's not like reading like a book, right? So they're gonna pick up on different types of energy. And if they're massive seer like myself, there's gonna be a whole lot out there, and it takes time to perfect it as well. Um, I saw you on the playing, so you're going somewhere to be on stage. Yeah, I love that. I'm excited. I know I mean doing the TV show was so much fun because I got to be on stage and do all the fun things. So I'm like, I love me a stage. But let me get into number two. So let's get into number two. Hopefully you have your notebook for you all to be following along and taking notes. So, the number two thing that you want to do in order to become magnetic to your manifestations and bring in your dream life is to be visible, folks. I love talking about visibility. You have no idea how many folks are like, I don't know where my manifestation is. I'm like, well, what have you been doing? Have you been sitting on the couch and doing nothing? Or do people know you exist, right? Like you have to work for your visibility, even if it's on social media. Spirit will come in and help you, right? Like I talk about that on my YouTube channel. It was overnight. My YouTube channel went from like no followers to now 11,000 followers overnight. And I just had this message on my phone that said, the Fairy Medicine Woman goes viral. And I was like, come again? Come again? And then I fell asleep. I woke up and I was like, well, that's different, right? Because I had also done the work within myself to want to be visible. So you need to be able to be visible. If you are not visible to physical people, you are not visible to your opportunities. Right? Like that's how it works. Like you need to put yourself out there. You have to tell the universe that you're open to receiving. You have to say, okay, I'm ready to be seen. A lot of people energetically, emotionally, physically, psychologically don't want to be seen and don't realize how deep it actually goes within them, and it's so connected to your worth, it's so connected to your trauma, it's so connected at a very very deep level that if you're having trouble stepping into the spotlight, because that's what I help people with, like step into the spotlight, be visible, there's healing that needs to be done there, but you have to give yourself the grace to be able to do that. So my other point within that is, you need to stop hiding and actually put in the work. Because some people like to believe that manifestation, yes, can be quite miraculous. I experience it all the time, and so do my clients, which is why I coach them through it. I lead them through it. There's also a level of work that needs to be done. We are taught a very colonized version of manifestation. And so healers like myself, who are activists, who are indigenous, who are multicultural, multi-ethnic, are out here making sure that people are understanding that there is still work to be done. It is not the spiritually bypassing part that we participate in, which is that back, which is not healing and causing more harm to others and expecting things to be given to us. That is a very self-centered way of things happening, right? Because of colonialism, imperialism, all of those things, the isms. You have to put in the work. You have to have the intention of having an impact, and working with spirit to be able to do that. Spirit in whatever, like, energy, whatever it is, or your ancestors, whatever you believe in, but you have to be visible. If you are fearful, your manifestations will run from you. Literally, right? Because your manifestations are on a very high timeline. As I mentioned, they're on the frequency of love. If you are holding the energy of fear, of anger, of scarcity, of grudges, those again are on your lowest timeline. And so your magnetism is not going to be able to draw in your manifestations at all. Because why would you want to magnetize that? And if spirit's looking at you like, hey, I really want to send you this partner, but like you are so fearful and like filled with scarcity that I think you're probably going to sabotage it. And so I'm not going to give it to you right now. And I'm going to send in the tower moment to help you. All right. So is that making sense? Let me read some of these comments. I can't stop smiling as you speak. Ah, makes a lot of sense. Right. Right. Yeah. I'm glad it's making sense. Yep, that was me, but I haven't intentionally trying to spell that into my reality. Yeah. So thank you. Happy to help. Hi, I'm like Kim in. Are you open to new clients? I need coaching 10,000%. I always coach. I have a million resources. So I have one-on-one programs. I have like small shamanic journeys, whatever you are needing, single sessions. If you head to my link tree on my TikTok page, like click it and you click the button that says like all services and things like that, you'll be able to find everything that I do. I am taking new clients. Yes, absolutely. Let me see over here. Let me switch. I'm streaming on multiple platforms, everybody. So stick with me. Shalom, beautiful sister. Hi. I'm glad I catch you tonight. I've been missing your wonderful spirit. Oh, you're so sweet. It's so good to see you. Visible means I have to be on social media. Not necessarily. If that is the avenue of your purpose, then yes. So it depends on what your soul is wanting and what your soul is called here to do. So for someone like me, who is an activist, who is trying to rein in all of humanity, rein in all of humanity, like, come on, let's all do our generational healing. Let's have a party and love the world, right? And stop being so destructive. I have to be on social media. I need to be out in public. I need to be with people, because the other thing is, uh, we have been taught to also run away from people because we believe that people are harmful. But when you carry that frequency, that is what you also reflect onto other folks. And so you're not meant to be without community. So you need to be with community in order to manifest and be magnetic, and be visible. You need to be visible. So like, what is your path? Like, what are you wanting? And also if you're trying to like manifest love, are you going outside? Are you going to the places that you love, right? Like, because your highest self is going to do all the things that they love so much, right? So your partner or partners are going to be able to find you along with your soul tribe when you are doing everything that you enjoy doing, whether it's dancing, singing, painting, like running. I'm listing all the things I do because it's just coming to mind. Reading books, laying at the river, right? Like, going shopping, hang out at REI for no good reason. So, um, thank you, thank you. I am a great leader. I think so myself too. Hi, Grand Rising. Too difficult to listen. You in my workplace, but good to see you. One love and greetings. Hi. So remember that you have to be able to be visible even in that sense. The universe needs you to. The universe like wants you to be having fun so you can also have fun in the relationship or communities that you're going to be drawing in, right? Like the universe doesn't want you to just be hidden away. They don't want you to be hidden away unless your purpose is to be hidden away, but I haven't quite seen my purpose yet whatsoever. I've seen people who want to live modest lives because that is what their soul wants to resonate with. But I feel like anyone anybody who usually ends up in my lives like this does not have that purpose. Does not have that purpose whatsoever. So I am here to assist with that. Um, and the other two things, well, I already mentioned one of them under being visible, is, go outside, make sure you are getting some fresh air, even if it's cold and snowy. I've heard enough of those things in Z School for the Gifted. So if you haven't joined one of my weekly classes for Z School for the Gifted, which is usually you just come, you submit your questions, I talk to you live, I read your energy, I tap into your ancestors, I deliver messages for you, I make sure you're on your path. You can tell me what's going on in your life. You can tell me about your Kundalini rising. You can tell me about your twin flame dynamics. You can just come in and be like, hey, I need tea for my stomach. It hurts. Right? Like, do those things for yourself because that is how you signal to the universe that you are ready for a different path, right? May you need to be embarking on your new path. You need to be unapologetically choosing yourself. You need to not be doing the things of your past so that June can come in and usher you into a new life. It's a time, it's the smile, not to be sorry. You are laying down all the comments. I mean, all the compliments here. I love compliments. I told someone that the other day because they just stood there and talked about how beautiful my face was and my hair clips. And I was like, I could get used to this. So make sure you are going outside. How many of you are going outside and like being visible to your manifestations, whatever your manifestations are? And even if it's, like, because I know someone was talking about manifesting their twin flame, like, um, for myself, like, do what's best for your energy, right? Putting yourself out there. For me, it's not a dating app. I can't do it. I don't, my soul goes, it doesn't work for me, but I am extremely magnetic. And so being outside, I easily draw people. It's like, whoosh, like a, I don't even know what to call it, like a energy divine vortex, right? That Ruth energy. I'm not because I struggle with my, yeah, being introverted. I am an introverted, no, I'm an extroverted introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm extremely introverted, whichever one it is. I'm extremely introverted and stick to myself. I had to learn how to be extroverted when I needed to be. I literally had to force myself through it. My ancestors taught me also how to do it and brought me friends and community that kind of like pulled me out slowly, but in a way that feels safe. And if they're like, hey, Z, like, want to come over for dinner? I'm like, cool, I'll be there. Um, you are healthy for my soul. Yay! Found gardening. I love that. Gardens are so amazing. Um, I don't know if you should go to grad school, but if you need personal coaching, my link tree is available to you. If you need a tarot reading, I can also do that for you. Um, so let me know. Are you, again, like, let me know if you are being visible to your manifestations. This is a big one, right? How are you signaling to the universe that you are ready? That you are ready. When I told myself, I'm going to manifest myself onto a billboard. I was like, I'm going to be on a billboard. And this year I manifested 2 billboards. So, and like, but I had to be able to be okay with that. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be on a billboard, I have to do something really spectacular. I have to believe in myself, right? I have to keep going. I have to understand that every time I write something, it turns to gold. And spirit and the ancestors and my guides and everybody will send me everything I need to be able to do it, right? So, are you being visible? Are you being visible? Um And something to remember too, if you're manifesting like your soul tribe, your group of people who are meant to support you. I talk about this on my YouTube channel, even down to your destiny helpers, but specifically your soul tribe. Your soul tribe is soul related, right? It's in the phrase. So if you haven't done step number 1 around getting clarity on who you are, who your soul is, what your soul wants, it's going to be impossible to be magnetic to your soul tribe, right? Because your soul tribe's also outside. I mean, you will find some soul tribe on the internet, but your main soul tribe is going to be moving around because they're going to be doing things that they like to do. as well. Um, and you have many aspects to your soul, so get to know your soul. My birthday literally is tomorrow. Ah, I said for my birthday I was gonna gift myself. Oh my goodness, come see me. I'm happy to help you. I love that. See, magnetic. Page. Oh, okay. Yeah, and find your page. Yeah, come say hi. Look at my coaching. I'm here to help you. I've been making such a conscious effort to be outside. Good. It helps with my doggy because everyone loves him. I love that. How does one know what form is our soul to be seen? Naseem, what is the other word after soul for what form our soul wants to be seen? How do we find what the soul wants and our true purpose? Yeah, meditation. You have to be a master of meditation because everything is energy, right? So meditation helps you get clarity, clear your mind, and also be able to connect with your soul. Your soul is energy. Um, your soul exists like with or without your physical body. So your form of communication is going to be through energetic work. That is how you're going to be able to call on your soul, to communicate with your soul, to communicate with your guides. And they will be able to reveal to you what it is that your purpose is, what it is that they are desiring. But you also have to do your deep trauma work, deep healing. Like I do a lot of generational healing for folks as well. And I am an Ayurvedic teacher and do like preventative healthcare. Basically, I'm a holistic health practitioner. So on my own journey, when it came to love, even or for my career, I needed to remove every aspect of myself that was getting in the way of me being able to articulate honestly and authentically to myself about what I actually want in my life, right? And it really came down to I don't want to have to work hard. I don't want to have to work really hard to be able to make an income. I want to be magnetic. I want to do the things that I love, which includes painting and speaking and like helping people heal and baking and teaching people how to love, right? But I had to move all the other stuff out of the way. And when it came to like manifesting partnerships, right, I had to be really clear about what I was wanting, not what everybody else was wanting, right? And knowing that my soul tribe was going to be there to be non-judgmental about that, right? Because my soul is very much so a soul that is like, no, I am a very submissive person to my partner, and I had lived for a really long time in another marriage that I wasn't able to do that with because of my trauma. And so I was very fiery, very masculine, but my soul was like, I can't do that. I'm a delicate flower. Right? So there was a part of me that had to do a lot of the healing so I could reveal that about myself of no, I don't want to think all the time. I want somebody else to help me. I'm tired of talking about numbers. Can somebody else do that? And so as I began to accept different parts of me and my soul of like my soul really wanting to be at rest and at ease, things started to magnetize toward me at a very rapid rate. People to help me with finances, like everywhere I go, masculine started like doing things and assisting and all these stuff. I was like, great. And like, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender to my manifestation, right? So that's why you have to be able to have clarity on what it is that you want. And, with my writing, I was like, I can't be successful or be on a billboard if I don't write, right? I have to write. I have to sit down and consciously type things and put it out there. But I had to put it on my schedule and also have stuff that was like my content and things like that to be able to grow my audience while also helping people heal. But being on the billboard and having all these other accomplishments was not. It came a very different route. So understand, there's a lot of healing to be able to do that. my God, what were those words? How does one know what form our soul is meant to be and seen in an authentic way for us? For example, you're singing, how would I know how I'm meant to be seen? Um, Most of the time, if you like feel good, use your emotions. If you feel good, like in front of people after you do your healing, then you're meant to be seen in that capacity, right? Like there's nothing or anything that will stop me from getting on a stage. I didn't even realize I was doing it, right? Like you mentioned my singing. I didn't realize I was doing that for the longest time. And then I thought about my entire childhood, and then my family started talking about things, and they're like, Alicia, Z, because Alicia's my English name, you've always been up on a stage. You've always been entertaining since you were a baby. Since you were a baby. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I was standing on the fireplace last time preaching to people, right? So it's, you'll know from also discovering during times of fun and play, like what your soul is wanting. Um, what are some examples of things you had to remove? Hi, greetings, Ancient Eyes. It's good to see you. Also, I applied for that thing in Houston. Thanks. Um, Things that will likely need to be removed when you are on this healing journey is, you know, your self-doubt about yourself, um deep healing within your physical body. Like I had experienced a lot of physical trauma to my body by multiple people, and so I had to release those aspects of myself and heal my mentality around being worthy of healthy people, being worthy of healthy touch, and like trusting that when I am seen, I will still feel safe. So it was really about self worth and valuing myself that made me be able to receive and feel more comfortable stepping into the spotlight and trusting in something bigger than myself. Because I've always trusted in that. That kind of led me that direction. But those are just a couple of things. Um, so yeah, that is number two. So I'm gonna go into number three. Again, feel free to ask questions. We are talking about the art of magnetism and manifestation. So the third one is taking consistent action towards your soul's purpose or goals slash goals. So remember that no action equals no results. A lot of people forget this. You still need to be taking action. While manifestation is a lot of energy work, there are still things that need to be done to help you move forward in your physical life. Sometimes when folks are manifesting, it's easy to get caught up in the spiritually or the spiritually led um, actions, right? Which is, I think, like Regan Hillier, like, or some folks say, like, it's like 80% of your energetics and like 20% on the action. But some people take that as like not doing things for some reason. So there still has to be an amount or a percentage that you are doing day to day that gets you closer and closer and closer to your manifestations, and being visible is a part of that. So like myself being a singer, like I had to put myself out there. I had to tell people that I was a singer. I had to put myself into competitions. I went into coaching with people who were in the music industry. I was constantly visualizing, right? My 80% visualizing producers, and then producers would show. And like, so it was, I had to be in creation mode, but it's a co-creation with the universe, not just you just meditating and not taking the actual action. So if you want to grow your YouTube and things like that, are you actually on your YouTube consistently? Right? Like, are you choosing aligned action to be able to help you get there? If you are manifesting someone into your life, one of my things is always learning. So I have like many coaches in different areas of my life. So, are you actually investing in yourself to be able to get to where you want to go? Investing in yourself is one of the fastest ways to like help your manifestations come forward. Because I have a rule that I always work with people who are living the life of where I want to be. So, I only invest in folks who are like miles ahead, so that I can quantum leap, right? Very quickly, because why would I struggle and do it by myself? Right? So the universe will always help with that. The universe will also guide you um to that. And another thing, no visualization equals no communication with the universe. So that's just something really straightforward that I wanted to offer to you. And remember that the universe can't deliver things to you if you are not energetically aligned high with what you are trying to manifest and become magnetic to. You have to be able to be consistent with your meditations, with your rituals, with your grounding, with your cord cuttings, with whatever it is that you have for yourself that helps you feel connected to the universe, because there's not just one way to do that. I love meditation for everybody because meditation is good for your mental health. Meditation is like across all cultures basically in some way, shape, or form, and it just helps you clear the mind so you can actually be present in the moment of what you are wanting to call in. And it helps you be more energetically aligned. And within that, like taking consistent action, really pay attention to following the signs to help you take action. Because there is a balance of you having the freedom to be able to make the decisions that you want to make, but you need to be able to follow the signs, meaning you need to be able to trust them, meaning you need to be grounded enough to be able to see the signs and trust them, right? So the way you treat yourself in terms of your self-care, like how you eat, how you sleep, the people you surround yourself with, the verbiage that you use, how you talk to yourself, how you interact with other people is going to directly affect how magnetic you are. If you choose to stay in your lower frequencies instead of being optimistic, instead of expressing gratitude, instead of being in the frequency of love, instead of being compassionate and forgiving and having grace in your life, you will manifest the opposite of what you are wanting in your life. So these are consistent practices that the spirit universe, like cosmos, your ancestors, your guides are going to consistently deliver into your life over and over and over again until you have learned those lessons. The bigger your manifestation is, the more lessons you're going to learn so that they know you can handle it. You have the capacity to be able to do that. So let me know if this is making sense. Again, if you're just joining, I'm teaching on the art of magnetism and manifestation. It is live Q&A too, so you're welcome to drop your questions into the chat and I will pause to answer them. I know folks are manifesting twin flames, love, careers, all sorts of things. I am a spiritual teacher and an activist and an artist, so I'm happy to help in whatever capacity you need. So number two, under taking consistent action, is take bold action, not just small action, right? Like that is a big one. Big dreams, big action. um, because a lot of coaches like to say you got to risk big. That is 10,000% true. And the reason why I say big, but really it's just like, how invested are you going to be in your decisions, right? What kind of energy and belief are you going to put into it? That's going to dictate how big your manifestation is that's going to be coming towards you, right? Like, do you have faith beyond just the mustard seed? Do you have um like full surrender to the universe that everything is going to work out for you and you don't care how hard it gets, right? Like, so I tell myself that and I remind myself all the time when things get really hard. I'm like, I surrender even more deeply now because I know whatever is coming is going to be massively larger than what I can imagine right now because I can't even fathom. So bring it on, right? So it's like the more that you are taking the bold action, like that unapologetic trust in yourself to make the right decisions, the more easy it's going to be for your manifestations to come in. That doesn't discredit the actions that you're taking every single day that are going to lead to that big manifestation, right? Like eating, sleeping, cutting cords, removing folks from your life that don't support you. All of that matters. But when it comes to, okay, I'm ready for the big dreams, the big, big, big dreams. What are you going to do to put yourself on the map? Right? Like, are you going to take that trust fall? Trust fall, baby. Are you going to trust fall into the universe and say, catch me? I remember when I was in a Reiki session and I kept saying before, like, I'm taking this trust fall, I'm taking this trust fall, I'm taking this trust fall. You better catch me. Right? Like I was freaking out all the time, and then I get to the Reiki session, and my good friend who I trust with my life channels in different languages, and she speaks and communicates like all the information from your guides and ancestors. And one of the things she said is like, of course you can trust us. Go to the edge and jump. And I was like, okay, well that's confirmation. Right? I'm just gonna go with it. So how much are you going to trust in your path and yourself and the universe and your ancestors to be able to catch you? That is what I mean when I say take bold action. Take bold action. Um, did you win? Any of so I'm still in two singing competitions. The first one, no, that one was intense. I didn't win that one, but what I feel like I won because my music was still getting reviewed by iHeartRadio, so it's a win either way. For anybody who was live, I think Nassim was there. We were neck and neck for like the last minute. And it was very intense and I had so much fun. It was so much fun. But I'm in a new competition, so if you go check out my link tree, you can go vote for the Timbaland one. I think I'm second in my group, and then I don't know what happens after that one. I haven't been like I've been a little busy. But yes, right, it is a win. Yeah, to me, it's like I had never put myself out there in such a large way with my music. In that extent, like it was like pushing and pushing and pushing and using every bit of my manifestation while also like my masculine energy to like drive it forward. And thank you for saying you're proud of me. I was like going for it, and I still feel like I'm recovering because I was posting like 5 or 6 times a day and going live, so I was like producing a lot of content, and like jumping into my local river and like bathing and being like, okay, ground yourself. Come on, you can do this. But either way, it was so much fun. My music got reviewed by so many amazing people. So I'm like, I just enjoyed the entire thing, and it was like watching a sports game, like in the last minute. It was so much fun. I'm sure there's a lot of learning lessons in this. Oh, 10,000%, 10,000%. Also just things I need help with logistically, which, bringing more people in, definitely happening right now. So I'm really, really excited. I love music, everything. I love art, everything. And I trust in the universe. I always trust in the universe. I had two amazing producers that worked on Falling into Love. And one of them was Trackmatic from Rock Nation. So it was a gift from the very beginning. So I am so grateful no matter what. like I don't even I'm like that was just fun in general. But yeah, thanks for asking. Um, so the third one in there is be consistent, master your actions without frustration, but with peace of mind. So that's going to be something that's really, really big to remember is having peace of mind when you take actions towards your goals, towards your manifestations are going to help them come in a lot more easily, and help you too to regulate your nervous system because we will manifest again, as I mentioned, things into our lives based on our own emotions. And so when you are sending things out to the universe and making these decisions, but you're frustrated, that is what you're telling the universe that you want that in your life. And so, I even tell people like when you're working on your finances, when you are, working on projects, when you're painting, when you're doing all sorts of stuff, don't ever do it angry, don't ever do it frustrated, do it with loving kindness and grace and compassion. So that is what you receive back, right? Because there's also the frequency of like, I don't want to make a negative impact on other people. So we hold that tenderness and that compassion within in ourselves so that we can also help other people, and that is how we become leaders, that is how we make an impact, that's how we change the world. So understanding that even while you're being consistent, do it with a sense of gratitude. That gratitude is going to go so far. People are going to feel that. You're going to feel that. And it's really going to start bringing things towards you in a very massive way, no matter what it looks like, right? It's gonna be big. It's gonna be curated just for you, which I feel like is the best part about being magnetic and doing manifestations, because it's literally curated just for you, and you'll start to see that. So how is this all resonating for you all? I have one more bonus tip before we start heading out. But do any of you have questions? Now would be the time to drop it in the chat. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll give you all a second to drop any questions. Was this helpful for you? I'm going to be doing some more lives, as much as I can, to help the collective. And if you are interested in coaching, definitely take a look at my Linktree and my website, bougiesavageproductions.com, to find information. I also have a blog, I have a podcast, I have music on YouTube, 528 Hertz music to help you heal. Like, I have many, many resources to help you on your manifestation journey. And tomorrow there's actually a Z School for the Gifted. So if you are wanting coaching in a group setting, it's very accessible. It's only $22. So y'all can be there. Come ask questions. It's weekly. Um, I have many. I came in late. Well, you can ask. Go ahead and ask your questions, and I will do my best to answer what I can before I go on to the last bonus tip. I would love to see all of you in Z School for the Gifted. It's my favorite. I love it so much. Class size varies. Sometimes they're small and intimate. Sometimes they're really big. I haven't put my finger on it. I just created a new time slot. So it's going to be Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. And then I'm going to be adding back the Friday rising one around 8 or 9 a.m. And then I'm the business coaching, if you are an entrepreneur and stuff like that, or want to know anything about crafts, your artistry, you can book that one as well. It's earlier in the week. This is helpful. I've got a lot of work to do. Good work. It's all good work. Working on self-love and forgiving myself. Yeah, forgiving yourself is a journey. It's a very, very intimate journey, and I'm glad that you are beginning that. It's the perfect month to do that. Um, some people in the spiritual community, I've noticed, do not talk about forgiving themselves, or the act of forgiveness, but it's so important, even to ourselves, so we can hold different frequencies, right? Like, um I forgive myself for being so judgmental on myself, right? Like, I forgive myself for being hard on myself. Like, for the longest time, I was so hard on myself about every decision that I made, every friend that I had, or felt like I wasn't helping them enough, or like, leaving certain relationships, and taking different paths. And it's like, no, I forgive myself. We do the best that we can with the resources that we have during that time, and it is what it is. And I forgive myself, and I surrender, and I allow myself to heal and move forward. So having that forgiveness is really important. And forgiving other people, even if oh, it's asking me to do this thing, even if they've harmed you. Not saying you have to speak to them, but releasing it for yourself so you can call in something different, especially if you have partners, right? Or if you're manifesting a twin flame of some sort, right? Like, making peace, so you actually have room, instead of grudges and resentment and hurt, so you can open your heart up to them so fully, right? And enjoy it the way you are intended to enjoy it. Since you're tapped in, what can I improve? I am telepathic. I'm not doing energy readings. If you want an energy reading, that is something you do have to pay for. I'm happy to ask or answer, questions about manifestation and the art of manifesting and things like that. Some stuff I do keep paid for. I know folks have asked me that before. Just, something that I choose to do. When I'm using my energy to tap into someone's energy, that's just a service that, like, a rule for my business is, I have my time paid for. It's not just my time, it's also my ancestors' time. And so, out of respect for myself and out of respect for my ancestors and my guides, it is behind a paywall. Right? It takes a lot to read into someone's energy. So, if you want personal things like that, you're welcome to come to a session. Um, and I'm happy to help you. 10,000%. I do it all the time. I just had someone in Z school for the gifted that didn't want to talk whatsoever. And I read their energy anyways. So it's definitely something I will do, but out of respect for myself, I do get paid for my time. So anybody else have questions? You said something a few days ago. How can you manifest something you don't know the energy of? Yeah. Um, so are you wanting me to elaborate on that? Something along, yeah. So earlier on the call, but you're my star sister. I got you. Um, yeah, well, money is also needed in the 3D realm to run a business and to support people. So, thank you for understanding and respecting my ancestors. They had enough of their time unpaid. Yes? Um, so yeah, something along those lines. So what I was saying earlier in the call was having clarity on who you are to be able to manifest what it is that you are desiring. Your soul already knows what it is. So you're basically like tapping into their energy to be able to call it in to your 3D life. The issue when people are trying to manifest things into their life and it doesn't come in, it's because they can't match the energy. So when they have clarity on what it is, they can more directly channel their energy into it and be able to recognize it. Same thing with like if you are trying to manifest a partner, right? You have to be able to recognize the frequency of love. And in order to do that, you have to have an internal recognition of what love is. The only way you're going to be able to recognize love is if you learn the language of love by living a life of self love, by creating it in your own environment, in your own body, so you can be in the frequency. And then when true love come towards you, you can recognize it in them and say, oh, I know what that is. Right? Instead of like, okay, well, I'm like magnetizing all different like weird things into my life that I'm not really sure about, right? It's because you probably can't quite recognize that frequency very well of your actual manifestation. So it's coming in a little lopsided, basically. Um, so let me know if that um makes sense. Thanks for liking the live, folks. Um so it's like basically cultivating the energy for yourself so you have the energetic articulation to be able to communicate with the universe, right? Because the universe and your manifestations, it's all energy. So you need to learn the language. You need to recognize it. Um, which like let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Um uh I'm just reading, sorry. I was phasing out. I'm gonna go to bed after this. So let me know if that is making sense, ancient eyes. So the more clarity you have again about who you are, what your soul desires, you can move towards it. And again, love is the highest frequency. So when you can also do your healing and do all sorts of things, you can put all your energy into that. Okay. Got it. Gratitude. That made perfect sense. I will run the live back to catch things I missed. Oh yeah, no worries. Appreciate you for sharing your energy, experience, and love. Of course. Happy to share. Hi, Trey. Peace and love to you too. I love diamonds. So now I'm going to get into my last little tip before we get going for the art of magnetism and manifestation is look at your reality. Your reality is going to give you a huge clue about how magnetic you are. And I know that seems obvious, but a lot of people actually don't take note on their physical environment. Um, and it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, just because where you live doesn't mean your manifestation isn't on the way. It's just like, how can you read energy also in people around you, right? So something that happens, like if I'm using, I like talking about love. So love as an example, and I am a divine feminine energy. That's how I see myself. That's the energy that I hold. The more that I am in my divine feminine energy and myself am surrendering to that, because my soul is very submissive, and I like, well, then in my reality I start magnetizing all of this masculine energy, because that's what I'm choosing to manifest, all of this like masculine energy into my life. So that tells me that I am deeply surrendering into my feminine, like deeply, deeply, deeply. So when you look around at the people around you and the opportunities that you've been getting lately, what does it say to you? Like, what does it say? Are your manifestations kind of coming in a little sideways? Are they coming in the way that you want? Are you feeling held and supported? Do you think there's like growth that needs to happen? Your energy and your environment is going to reflect back to you exactly how you are manifesting and how magnetic you are, because it's going to be consistent. Again, as I said, like the more magnetic you become, you just stay in that frequency after a while, because it becomes your normal. So, even if there's days, for myself, I'm like, I'm just gonna magnetize everything to me today, because I'm like too tired. I'm like, I need groceries, I need this, I need that. And then before you know it, it's like bing, 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 right? I received the help because I was like, bat signal, I need help. I need help. I'm tired. I'm like doing all this work, magnetizing it towards me. So, like, where in your life have you taken the time to look at the things you are magnetizing around you? Whether it's love, your soul tribe, right? With dynamics in your family, in your career, or your dream career that you are manifesting in, um, your finances, right? Like, what does it all look like for you? These are things that you need to pay attention to, especially again in May. If you are just tuning in, I was really talking about how May is very important for illuminating the truths about ourselves that we are unwilling to see. That we are unwilling to see. Um, so what are you not seeing? And you can put it in the chat if you want to, or you can just reflect on it. Um, because if there's something that you're wanting, how can we reflect it to us, right? Like, how can we tell the universe we are ready to grow, we're ready to receive it, we're ready to move on, right? How are you going to create space to receive it? um and even, something else. Hold on, I need to take a drink of water. Hold on. And even with like finances, right? Some people, when you start to manifest like more money into your life, some people think that it's just like spirit's gonna dump all this money in, right? Which, like, yeah, that will happen. But first, like I mentioned earlier, are you responsible enough to handle the money? Do you have everything in place to be able to handle the money? The energy needs to flow somewhere, right? It has to go somewhere. So have you set yourself up for success for a large amount of money? If a large amount of money plopped into your life today, do you have the right people on your side and the systems to help you organize it and the support to be able to invest it? Do you have that set up, right? The block self-limiting beliefs in general. Yeah, 10,000%. Mindset is huge, right? If you are manifesting love into your life, have you done your healing to be able to receive them in their entirety, in the capacity that they are, and not be judgmental, and understand that people are growing, and healing, and it is an evolution, and you are allowed to heal together instead of trying to manifest someone who's like prince whoever, princess or non-binary, like who's just perfect. Like there's no growth, there's no je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? Are you ready for them? If they showed up on your porch today, would you say, "Hey, nice to meet you"? Or would you be like, "What in the actual, I need to go brush my hair." Right? Like what, like, have you done the work? Same thing with your soul tribe. Do you have time in your schedule to be able to support hanging out with your soul tribe? If you want to be a digital nomad, have you started looking at places you want to digitally nomad to? Do you have plans to get there? Do you know how much it's going to cost? All that sort of stuff, right? All of that is important. All of that is important. And sometimes when we are being so held back by our own mentalities, it's because we also don't have the clarity or the foundation to be able to make those decisions. We get into an analysis paralysis, right? And usually, if you're in analysis paralysis, you need to have solutions, you need to have ideas, you need to have security to be able to make those decisions. So you start gathering the facts, you start gathering them, you start organizing them, you start directing your energy towards something rather than thinking about it and freaking out about it. You're going to calm your nervous system down and you're going to create actionable steps to get you there. Yes? Is that making sense for everybody? Is that making sense for you all? And realizing how important it is? Trust no one at this point. I will adapt quickly, and I'm sure, Father, that I think you mean wouldn't let me fail once I'm placed with the right folks. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say trust no one. The universe brings you people to trust. That's the point. When we are in a trust no one energy, it's also you can't trust yourself. That's what you're saying. If you're looking at it from a healing aspect, I understand why people say that. Um, but also when we say that, it's like people are good people. It's just, are you choosing the good people? Are you magnetic enough and high frequency enough to magnetize the good people? Yeah, trust yourself 10,000%. Every situation, right? It's not about other people. It's about how you navigate your life. It's about how you navigate your life. For the longest time, I lived in a state of I'm not going to trust anybody because of my trauma. That gets you nowhere because you can't live this life like without soul tribe. I can't do most of this stuff without people. Colonialism has taught you that. Pain has taught you that. That's why people need to heal. Because if we're constantly like, oh, I'm only going to trust myself, good luck the rest of your journey doing it by yourself, even with spirit by your side. Spirit doesn't want you to be by yourself. Spirit doesn't want you to be by yourself. Why would spirit spirit doesn't want you to be by yourself. Spirit doesn't if spirit wanted you to be by yourself, spirit wouldn't talk to you. You know what I mean? So you're saying to manifest, you have to set yourself up for your manifestation 10,000%. 10,000%. You can't just manifest as you are. Depends on what you're manifesting. You can manifest at any given moment, but we are responsible for what we manifest into our life. So if you find, in some situations, if you are manifesting people that don't align with your values, right? Like manifestation is a consistent energy because our soul is a consistent energy and everything is energy. So it's constantly moving. If you are wanting to manifest the things that you are actually desiring and your soul desires, you need to adjust your energy and your healing to be able to follow it, to be able to lean into it so you can just like peacefully flow. You can manifest as you are, and you will receive exactly what you are in this given moment. So if people are feeling a lot of hurt and all these things, that is what you will manifest back into your life. So it's possible to manifest but not ready and mishandle it. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm glad it's making sense. Yeah. Yeah. So our reality is a direct reflection of who we are on the inside. So, yeah. Where's my mentor? What do you need? Book a session. Trusting our gut and heart in coherence and harmony alongside the mind seems to be key. 10,000%. Ari, love that. Yeah. Trust your intuition, trust your heart. Your heart's always gonna know the way. And harmony. Yeah, you need peace. You need that. Insert shadow work. Yes. Shadow work is your quickest way to your manifestation. Trust me. When I would be out and about, like on dates, and I would be sitting there like, what did I manifest? I'm like, excuse me, I need to go sit down and go back to the drawing board and look at what happened. Like, we're not doing this. No mo. No mo. Right? Like, no. Same thing with money. I'm like, who did this? Moi? Oh, no. Spirit ancestors intervene immediately. Right? Like, we have to take ownership and realize that our environment, like things that are coming to us, it's because of who we are. Right? Like, the reason why I was able to also get on those billboards is because I was like, I'm worth being seen. All big. All big on the screen. See me, right? Like, I was like, everybody's gonna see me. So that's the energy that you put out is reflected back to you. And that's why I teach my clients, like, who are also trying to manifest love, like, you need to cultivate love in order to manifest it into your life. You have to be like receiving of that. If you can't receive yourself, if you can't receive your truth, how are you going to receive any sort of truth from a partner? You won't. You won't be able to. You won't be able to. It's going to hurt you. Like, all these things, right? So many things. So many things. I've been told I'm too negative to myself and I don't know how to accept love or even see it because of past trauma. That's very normal, right? Because we condition ourselves out of safety. Our brain does it. Our brain is designed to protect us from, of course, happy to help you. Um, our brain is designed to help us stay protected from danger, right? Our little lizard brain. We're designed to protect ourselves. We're designed to see threats. When you live in that state for too long, where you live in like an energy of everything becomes a confirmation bias for you. So if you fear something and it happens, you're like, oh, every time I do it, then that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's not true, right? So then you become excessively negative because that's your only energy. That's your only understanding because you don't know how to recognize the positivity, and it's safer for you and your brain to be able to be in something that's more easily recognized than to learn something new. Because when you go into learning something new and you go into releasing something, your brain goes, "Bleh." I'm like, what is this? How do I get past this? I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna have a panic attack. It's like, I need you to calm down, right? Like, that's why I tell people also meditate first thing in the rising, the minute you open your eyes, because you need to be able to catch your brain factory before it starts manufacturing a bunch of crap. You need to slow it down. You condition it. You recondition your brain to slow down. You recondition. Like, that's why also, if you're like going through kundalini risings and changes and tower moments like May is happening right now, like, you need extra sleep, you need your meditations, you need to stay focused on positivity and gratitude and being out in nature so your physical body and your brain can like regulate itself, Because when the physical body and the spiritual body are like, like all the time, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna feel like that all day long, and you're like, hell no. Right? So you have to give yourself some ease. Let me see. Never understood this deeply until now. Yes! This is why I do this. Manifest to your heart's content. It's so important, right? And I don't know how to accept love. Accepting love is very challenging. I'm not gonna lie. Where are you located? Are you in the US? Or even see it because of past trauma? So for the longest time, I couldn't receive love. Many of my clients have trouble receiving love. I also work with clients who have gone through very severe trauma, mostly femmes, but I also work with masculine presenting folks as well, who have had body trauma like myself, who have had eating disorders, who have almost lost their lives or taken their lives, like many, many, many things. When you feel so unsafe, you have to be really gentle. You have to be really, really gentle, which is why I always invite people into the container of working with someone like myself one on one to be able to release that slowly. Like, you need to be able to have a safe space to be able to do that. Um, and you're basically teaching yourself to first receive love from yourself, and that can be like emotionally and even physically, because a lot of my clients have physical trauma. So I teach them how to gently receive touch even from themselves. Doesn't have to be intimate, right? Because sometimes we don't even realize we don't even touch ourselves. Maybe we'll get into the shower and we're just like scrubbing and tossing our clothes on, right? Like, that's the energy that we're doing. We're not caressing our skin. We're not giving ourselves extra massages. We're not telling our body that it's okay to let go, right? Like, I also do body work for people. And that touch is so important. And if you've felt unsafe for so long, you're not allowing people to touch you. So there's that like nurturing aspect of Pachamama, or like a parenting energy that you haven't had for a long time. So you have to gently teach yourself how to reparent and love yourself so you can receive it and see what it looks like in the outside world, and what is healthy, healthy touch, healthy love, healthy receptivity of love. Like, how does it actually feel in me? Um, I had someone recently who was saying that, someone had touched them, like they were on a date, and they kind of shuddered, and they shut down for a minute. And that's because they had gone through so much trauma. And so you have to give yourself the grace, I had taught them about self advocacy and empowerment, right? Like, so then us going through and having a conversation of, here are some phrases that you can say to articulate to them that you need a little bit more time before you can receive touch. But that you want to be able to receive it, right? But maybe now isn't the best time to receive it, but you will get there, right? And the right partner for you is going to respect that and understand that and create safety for you to be able to do that. I used to shudder for a very long time. I would actually slap, like, if someone even came near me, I would like slap them. Like, not their face, but like their hands, because it was so like, I was so abused that I will fight you. I will literally fight you if you touch me. um so you have to cultivate it in yourself. And so in my program, More Than Worthy, we work together for 6 months, so I can see what it looks like for you over 6 months to be able to heal your body, to be able to heal through food, to be able to heal with your ancestors, to be able to talk about your trauma, to be able to talk about going on dates or being within a marriage, or if you want to have children, or if you're healing your finances, right? They all come into, a lot can happen in a half a year. So that it's just living in a state of trauma for a very long time, which is very normalized in the States, which is where I'm at, makes it more challenging to be able to receive it. But it's definitely something you can heal through. I sometimes slightly rub my arms with my finger tips. It's soothing. Yeah. Sensations are so nice. Um, using oils and things are also very, very good for tapping into your energy, and allowing tension to go. I always massage myself after my yoga sessions, or if I'm just sitting on the floor. You can thank your feet. Like, if you have feet, if you have that, or whatever you have on your body, right? Like, thank you for holding me up. I'm gonna massage you and say thank you. Like, thank you, chest, right? Oh, thank you, hands. You do so much. You carry so much, and I point you in so many directions. Are you tired of pointing? I used to think it was weird, but I don't anymore. Now that I know who I am. Yeah. You sit in it and you realize physical touch is normal. You can use like, I have done a lot of sensory classes, so even using crystals, like, you can put out a whole plate of stuff. We used to do this, and we'd have like chocolate and fruit and crystals and feathers, and receiving touch from somebody else. Doesn't have to be intimate, but like, see which one kind of like lights you up. How's it feel? Right? Using a towel. How does water feel on your body? How does sand feel on your body? Um, right, on boundaries. Yeah, speaking up. Yeah. As everybody needs to know how to advocate for themselves. Um, I do specialize in helping femmes articulate for themselves and like clearing that throat chakra, because it's a powerful thing to be able to do for yourself, and a necessary thing. It's very, very necessary. And we teach people how to treat us. And while I would like to say that people would just know how to treat you, it's not the case, because the world, right? So being a femme and being able to be empowered, which is why I wrote the book, The Empowered Femme Initiation, to talk about my own generational healing and going through trauma and my reflections on it. Like, we need to be able to do that uh, in a way that's good for us. And that's why I teach people about being magnetic and manifestation, because that is a part of it. Like, you can manifest people into your life who respect your boundaries, who love your boundaries, who are willing to see your boundaries and not cross them. That is also something really important. And you'll start to love boundaries, right? Like, when you have people in your life who have boundaries, you're going to respect them so much, because they're going to articulate to you what their boundaries are, and you're going to love it. Like, when you start learning about self advocacy and empowerment and setting your own boundaries, because the work that I do, it's like, no, we do boundaries in all aspects of your life, even with yourself, right? I need you to have boundaries with yourself, right? The minute that you do that, you're like, okay, I'm getting used to this. And then when someone tells you what their boundary is, I respect that so much. Like, I remember I showed up to this show once, because I would travel around and sell my stuff for my apothecary and speak and like do a bunch of things. Um, so there's person out front that I had never seen before. Like, usually we just kind of show up, right? And we're let in, and they they were sitting there, and their name is Udoka. And I love them to death. And I like was like, hey, can I like all these things? And they just looked at me and they were like, no, actually you cannot. And I was like, can I marry you? Like, I was like, thank you for saying no to me. And also they went on to like explain other stuff and all these things. I was like, I love you, right? Having boundaries with yourself and the people you hold in your life will also make it easier for them to understand who you are. If we don't have boundaries on what we're willing to accept and what we're not willing to accept, then people just continue to do the things that we don't enjoy. They will continue to do it over and over and over, right? And I see this a lot with people who are going through changes in tower moments, and being like, why doesn't this person blah 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 blah? And I'm like, why don't you hold responsibility for yourself and handle it, right? Let's advocate, let's set these boundaries, and let's let them know that it's not okay with you. The reason why you're allowing it is because you don't have a boundary with yourself to say, I'm not okay with this self. I tell my clients, point your finger at yourself and be like, okay, let's take responsibility for what I just allowed into my life right now. Emotional intelligence is key in communication. I agree. See, yes, 10,000%. I teach everybody about emotional intelligence. I teach people about crucial conversations. I teach people like so many things, so many things, so many things. It's so important. You need emotional intelligence. It should be taught in schools. It's not. So true. When we don't feel safe, we don't want just anyone touching us, especially fast, without asking. Yeah, 10,000%. And, looking at colonialism, because I'm always going to bring it up, I'm an activist, imperialism, uh, energetically, our ancestors too, right, carry that energy. We carry that energy, the markers in us of having our permission taken away, of having our freedom taken away. So we have to learn how to liberate ourselves by being comfortable and asking for what we want and what we need. And it's not always well received, right? That comes with the territory, but it's a part of the generational healing work. It's a part of the ancestral work, and it's a part of your liberation and the liberation of all people, of all people. That's why many activists are and we're so clear about what the community didn't stand for, right? We stand for freedom, we stand for love, we stand for hope. When you understand that stuff, then you know what to fight for, right? You know what to get behind. When you say, I stand for people asking for permission, the people that don't ask for permission, you'll know. It's the same thing. Right? It's the exact same thing. And when you're doing your generational healing and your manifestation, you have to deeply sit within, I give myself permission to manifest this into my life. Like, we have to give ourselves permission to receive it. Otherwise, we won't, because we've lived in such a long energy. Our ancestors, we carry it with us. We're all connected. We're all one. So we have to say, I give myself and my ancestors permission to have a different life. I now consciously and energetically choose to break the cycles that they were stuck in. I choose to break the cycles that I have been stuck in. And I now manifest everything that I am desiring: health, wealth, happiness, love. It's permission. And you'll see, if you ever do sessions with me one-on-one, I do love to ask people, which one of my favorite coaches, Ingrid Arna, right? She was so stern, and I appreciate, she would always say, don't you ever bring someone into your call and not ask for their permission to share information with them. Right? Like, she was like, it was a divine feminine thing, and she was so passionate. She was like, for generations we've been taking away people's permission. You will not hold space in a toxic way. Right? Like, we are responsible as healers and activists. And even, I when I do my bigger workshops, one of the rules is you ask for people's permission. You don't come on calls and teach without someone giving their permission. It's unsolicited. It's unsolicited. And we hurt people that way. You want to give people a chance to decide for themselves if they want to receive it. Maybe they don't want to talk to you. Right? Like, that's their boundary. Let them choose. Let them choose to receive your energy or not. But that goes along with also the emotional intelligence and understanding that we are responsible for the impact that we have in the world, and our manifestations being magnetic, right? I'm loving all your questions and comments. Let me know if you have anything else. Again, I'm going to invite everybody to come join Z School for the Gifted. There's a session tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I'm going to be adding some more times now that folks on YouTube took the poll. I'm going to be adding back Friday rising time. There's also business coaching, one-on-one sessions if you want to work with me. I also coach over Telegram. It's called Text a Friend. I do tarot readings, like many, many things to support you all. Yeah, let me know. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Was this helpful? I love having these discussions because manifestation is so much bigger um than people think. And manifestation and existing as a person from a marginalized group is very different. And I don't think there's enough manifestation teachers out there who talk about healing in that way and activism as it pertains to manifestation. Because, even things for my friends, like they faced very different things because they present a different way. I present a different way, so I feel and experience the world very differently. And so the techniques and tools that I use may not be the techniques and tools that they use. But that's why I coach people as they are, as their unique self. So using different modalities, which is why I love many modalities, helps me be able to help more people. That was a good reminder on asking for permission to share with people. Yeah, you should always ask for permission. Don't be walking around thinking people just want to hear from you all the time. I'm just kidding. But it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of love, a sign of um, decolonization. We are decolonizing ourselves from the lives that we've lived for a very long time to create safety and love and happiness and all the things. Um, so I'll give this just like another couple minutes just to make sure. Um, oh my goodness, this just loaded all this stuff. This was so slow. Okay, let me go back. It just popped up. So we should meditate to remember how to regulate ourselves. I've been trying to be patient. So yeah, keep meditating every single day. Every single day. Even if it's for 5 minutes, meditate as much as you can. It's going to be the most powerful thing that you have in your tool belt. In Ohio with my BBC. Tired of hearing about love? Yeah. I mean, yeah, sit with that. If you're tired of hearing about love, it feels like there's probably healing to do around that. When people resist love, it's the one thing that they need. Chef's kisses. Please invite me. The link is in my bio if you're talking about class. Gratitude, alignment is everything. Yeah, 10,000%. It's called Z School for the Gifted. If you go to my link tree, you can click the button. I think it's like fourth or fifth one down. It's a big square. It's me as a comic book. You'll see it. It's hot pink. Thanks. I missed the first half of this. I can replay it later though. Glad I caught some of it before bed. Yes. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that this TikTok thing caught up because I was like, this is so strange. And then finally they all popped up. Yeah, I would love to have all of you there. And you're, of course, happy to help, Natural D Luna. I would love to have all of you there. Either way, you are welcome in this space, no matter what walk of life you are from, whatever spiritual practice you have. Um, folks come on the call and they talk about Kundalini rising, they talk about God, they talk about many, many things. So it's a safe space for you to come and ask the questions that you're wanting answers to. You will always be met with love and kindness. That that is something I stand by. And if at any time, you feel like things in the class are uncomfortable for you, I will usually always handle it. I will always handle it. I've had a couple classes where some people, I was like, no, 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 not the environment. So you do not have to carry that burden with you. If you are used to going into spaces, as I know, as an intersectional femme, sometimes you go into spaces and people don't know how to hold space for you and do not protect you. I'm the opposite type. I am a warrior type, divine feminine type. So I will always make sure that you are happy and healthy and held, to feel safe. Generational healing requires that. Trauma healing requires that. So that is it, my friends. I'm going to head out. This was amazing. I appreciate all of you being here. I hope to see you in Z School for the Gifted. I hope to see you in any of the resources that I have. Feel free to also leave a donation or buy me a coffee. I don't talk about it enough, but donations and things do go a long way to help me keep other free resources going, and it helps my business grow. And I'm just happy to be able to support you. Hold strong through this May. Hold strong through this May. Um, Energy is going to be moving fast in June, so drink your cacao, drink your tea, relax, but also still take action for yourself. Happy to help. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you, Sheila, and the work you do. Thanks and respect, C and Tribe. Hope everyone have an amazing night. Yes. Goodbye, everybody. Moss, you're late. I will talk to you all later. Get lots of rest. Rest easy. Thank your ancestors. Thanks, Spirit. Grateful for all of you. Be kind to each other. Bye, everyone. I'm gonna try and sign out if I know how. Oof. This is gonna be a minute. I got this.